Hello and welcome to the theElpyDimension. I'm your guide, Elpy. Let's drop some seeds. Hashtag Seed Show and Tell 2025. Okay, these are all weeds. I do believe some of them are edible, but I'm not doing that today. In fact, however, these weeds are not going to go to waste. They are going to be fed to my worm farm. If you're new here and don't already know that I am a worm farmer, be sure to go to my channel and check out my playlist, All Things Worm Farming, that contains all of my worm videos as well as some videos from others. I'm going to be adding to a list of videos from others very soon, but yeah, check it out. So all of this will go to my worms. They are due for a feeding, and my newest bin is my Canadian nightcrawler bin. It's very windy, so hopefully the audio isn't too bad. If it's really bad, I'm just going to wind up muting this and you can't hear anything I'm saying anyways. But yeah, my Canadian nightcrawlers especially benefit from having soil in their diet, as they are anesic worms, which means they travel vertically as opposed to horizontally, but they do engage in composting, in that they come up to the surface, they get what they need, and they go back down, and they take it with them down into their tunnels. Now I'm sure there will be some other weeds that pop up, but for now we are going to sow carrot seeds, and I'm going to sow them around the edge because I don't expect the carrots to be ready before it's time to plant. I told myself I'd have a plan for the whole garden prior to spring, but I don't. So there will be a larger summer crop that'll come in here. It might be tomatoes or peppers, but for now we're going to drop carrots around the edge. So how I'm going to do it, I am able typically to germinate carrots, but I'm not so good at getting a good carrot crop, unless you count the leaves. Hey, look at this. We grew Japanese black trifle tomato in here before. Well, last year that was. Actually, what I've just decided I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up the soil a little bit. That should help. And I'm going to pause you. Now these roots, I can leave these roots to decompose in the soil. However, I am going to feed them to the worms because, again, the Canadian nightcrawlers, I think, would especially enjoy. Oh, this is, so I got sheep manure a couple years ago from a sheep farmer, and that was in the manure. It was a ear tag. Okay, more roots. This is some really nice soil. Looks really good. Loosen it up real nice. And then I'm going to go get my bucket of worm castings, which I forgot. We are going to sow carrot seeds. Now today is the 14th of April. I think in a month, might be, for sure 6 weeks, I'll be able to safely plant peppers, because I'm tempted to plant this whole thing of carrots, but I really don't think I'll be harvesting them out in time. I think I'll have greens to harvest, but so yep, for now we're just gonna plant carrots around the edge. And oh wait, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back with my lovely homegrown worm castings. These, I don't sift mine out. Props to all the people who do, but I don't sell it or anything, so any imperfections, whatever. But yeah, this was 3/4 of the way full, and I used a lot yesterday when I planted out. That's actually a lot, but that's what I'm doing this year. I'm using this for my soil amendment right now, and I used a lot yesterday when I transplanted out my Calibos cabbage, because I'm experimenting and planting them in all nice and snug with my garlic, and they're all pretty close, but we'll see. So I figure giving them extra worm castings was a good idea, because some of those benefits are going to be eaten up by the garlic. Okay. All right. This stuff looks pretty good. Now I'm going to sort of level it out, and we'll just do a circle. Alrighty. Today on the menu is what shall we pick? Ta-da! Little finger carrots. I've grown these before and I enjoyed them. However, like I said, not very successful with getting good roots. So they say, this says every 3 weeks until 10 to 12. Oh, we're talking about my first fall. 10 to every. Oh. There aren't many left in here. This seed pack is from 2020. I did not realize how few are in here. But I actually do have another pack of these. Begs the question of, why did you buy more? Well, because I didn't realize. So I guess what I'm gonna do, if you've never seen carrot seeds before, there you go. They're pretty small. And it says 1/4 of an inch. Alright. I need to make it all the way around the circle, and normally I'd sow them a lot thicker, but it's probably for the better that I'm actually only limited in the amount of seeds I have out here with me right now. But yeah, they say once they're 1 inch tall, thin to 1 every 3 inches. I hear all the world is abuzz out there. Who knows what that is? Alright. Well, thinning shouldn't be too painful. Okay, sweet. So these are seeds, like I said, from 2020. So we'll see how that works out. Now, I'm just going to carefully sort of close up this little trench. I tend to probably plant things too deep, but we'll see. Then I'm going to push them down. I've never tried the sand method where you mix it with soil and sand, but one of these days I will give it a try. We'll do the watering last. Now over here, let's see, I have sugar bon peas, and they didn't all come up. These are actually brand new seeds, if I recall. Yep, 2025. And have planted, let's see here, there's a massive pile of grass right there that is going to be dealt with, just not right now, because I don't want to. I want to play with my seeds. Okay, so this cage is here in part for tomatoes, but also because I had groundhog issues last year, but mostly for tomatoes. All right, now I do have, where are they? Yeah, they're there. 2 little stakes. Hold that down. And let's go ahead and get our gloves, just because I'd like to use gloves. Obviously don't have to. This is hairy bittercress, which is actually edible. This, I don't know what that is. But I'm not trying to grow it, so let's go ahead and now, if you don't already recognize it, that is a pea. That's why I carefully weed there. Okay. So, I planted these peas in, so they're inside the cage. The cage is not, could have been, it wasn't exactly tailor-made to this bag, but it works. So let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I think they say 6 inches apart. So I'm gonna do 2 more. And probably 1 inch. It's a cool little dauber thing. So hopefully I'm inside. So this one, only 2 didn't pop up. And actually for these guys, I'm going to drop some worm castings just right on the surface. Okay. kind of add some microbes, potentially some minerals, maybe micronutrients. But for sure, microbes and bacteria that are essential to soil biology, plant health, soil health, and everything that is good in the world. Alright. Okay, now I will put my little cage back on. Next up, so we've added to that one. I'm really hoping once I weed this one out that we find a pot that looks like it's been stepped on. Hoping that we find some peas because by all appearances it would seem not a single pea germinated in here. I don't know if it's the seeds, if I planted them too deep, or if I planted them too deep. But I haven't seen any evidence of creatures in here. So I can't say that something dug the seeds up. Oh, I see one. Okay. Well, one is better than none. The one upside to having to plant this one, there's the one I see. Oh, two. The one upside to having to sow these all over again is that I'll have unintentionally done succession planting, which for those who don't know means that and again, these weeds will be going to my worms, but yeah, so that means that try again, LP. Succession planting is when you sow at intervals so that you have multiple different harvests. So, I gotta be careful here. So like for instance here, these two peas will, in theory, be ready to harvest when the other ones we've seen are producing peas. And then after they've started harvesting or started producing, then the new seeds I'm about to plant will begin to be producing. Now these I actually sowed probably over a month ago, when it was still cold, and you know, the plants, they know what to do, so they'll They'll come up when they're ready. In fact, that is, I'm almost certain that's one of my little peas. Alright, well, yeah, so they'll come up when they're ready. When you plant them outdoors. Oh, see, maybe it's that this grow bag, gets more shade than the others, and so maybe it took these peas longer to germinate. And I may, hopefully I don't know, I may have messed up. Who knows? The other ones might still come up, I guess. But we've got 1, 2, I'm almost certain that's 1, 3, 4. So what I'm gonna do is we'll do 3 more. It's kind of close, but I'm not. I'm okay with it. Okay, 1, 2. These are nice big seeds. Yeah, so we might still see, like I said, we see those 3. All right. Need to get out here with some sort of something to hold this cage back together. I'm gonna be careful with my little babies. Yeah, this one's bigger, but it's just not secure. All right. So, again, trying to be careful. Would you believe it? Last year there was a groundhog. I looked out, and there was a groundhog in this cage. I was like, what? How, dude? It's like, it was so weird. Because it looked so big, and yet it was in this cage for real. That's not gonna work. I was trying to use this stake to secure it, but I think I really need to go ahead and actually get some wire and screw it down. Oh yeah. Let's get one casting. Of course it would be better mixed in, but for now, that's what we're rolling with. Now, next is right next to it, neighbor. Many weeds in this bed, but let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, and 3. Only 3 came up. I'm pretty sure all these seedlings are weeds, but I'll give them a shot to present themselves first and then take them out. Just want to move the soil a little bit and see if any seedlings present themselves like they did in the other one. Nope. Alright, so I didn't have real great germination with these seeds then, in general. Got 1 there, 2, 3, and 4. That's not 6 inches apart, but I'm running with it. And if these don't come up, yeah, I might. I probably won't, actually. Like, yeah, I might. No, I won't plant more, because by that time we'll be into, well, then we're looking at getting closer to summer. What did I say? And there will be other. Okay, where'd that hole even go? You guys, I'm so confused. What the heck just happened? Didn't I? Here we go. Yeah, there'll be so many other crops that I can plant at that time. Here's our tag. That it really won't. In my head, if you don't already know, peas prefer cooler weather. So I don't want to be waiting for them to start growing at a time that they might not be happy anyways. Oh, they might, who knows? They might be happier over here because it's a little bit, they get shade a little bit sooner in the afternoon. Okay. Now this one might get tricky, actually, in terms of the seeds I just dropped. I think we're within. But yeah, who knows? Maybe these peas will do better here. All right, so there we have that. Now I'm going to water in our carrots and our peas, and then we'll move on to the next sowing. Oops. Really would like to get a finer misting hose nozzle, because this one, if I turn up the pressure too much on the hose on the faucet, then it just, no matter how much I turn it down, it comes out really thick. And it's really windy today, but so I'm just holding the nozzle really far away. Okay, next up, we are planting peas with garlic. Now I've heard you should do that peas don't like garlic. Peas and beans. And I'm sure there's a good science behind that. Push this back up there. However, I know the habit. Not following the rules. So, what we're going to do is, along that back wall, I've grown these Oregon snow peas before. It may have actually been last year. And they did quite well. And that's what I'm going to do. We are going to come over here. We're going to trip over some things on the way. And what we have here is a bed full of garlic as well. If you've seen my short, these are the Calibos 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 cabbage. They look extra bad. And then I have 2 bee balm bergamot. I see that one's coming back. I forgot I had 2. And one over there. They're perennial. And then there's a lot of garlic in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 33 garlic bulbs in here. And as I said in probably several other videos, I'm like, what in the heck? Sorry. What was I thinking? Like, why? We're going to start after this second one. Why did I plant so much garlic as though I wouldn't want to plant anything else? And I believe what I was thinking was that I had way more garlic than I realized.